Recently, a major publisher rejected an AI novel, or at least it was suspected as being AI written. Now, in case you haven't heard, in March 2026, Hachette Books pulled the UK version of the book Shy Girl, a horror novel written by a Black woman, Mia Ballard, and they canceled the US publication of the book. Now, in case you think that this does not affect you, self-published nonfiction business book authors should take note. In fact, there are 4 takeaways from this controversial situation that I've observed that you should consider before you write your next book. I'm Denise Renee, your business book bestie. Here is my signature book, and these are some of my clients. I help professionals write books that make their business, career, or thought leadership brand visible. Hey, business book bestie. Now I've placed timestamps and helpful links down in the description box for you. In particular, I've included links to 3 videos by fellow writers and editors and book industry professionals who I think break down this situation and the implications very well. So please go check those videos out after you finish my video. So since they did such a great job breaking down the situation, I won't go into the details of it here. But just from the headline alone, you don't need to have a deep familiarity with the circumstances surrounding the accusation of Shy Girl potentially being an AI written book for you to appreciate these 4 insights I'm about to share. So, the first takeaway that you should consider from this AI book controversy is this. Audiences don't want to read books that they feel are AI written or heavily AI influenced. You just need to spend a little bit of time on the book section of any social media platform like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and of course on a platform here like YouTube to know that the backlash to any AI written books is real. Readers complain loudly when they feel an author has not been 100% truthful in disclosing how much of AI has been used in their book when it feels obvious that AI was used in the creation of their book. Now, beyond me just observing it in many a YouTube video and in the comment section in LinkedIn, just a quick Google search or Gemini search on the topic will quickly aggregate how people are feeling, how readers are feeling. So this is a prompt that I put into Gemini just this afternoon. And here's what Gemini had to say. Across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, the sentiment regarding AI written fiction is overwhelmingly skeptical, often leaning towards outright hostility. In 2026, these platforms have become the front lines for de-influencing books suspected of AI involvement, which readers prioritize human efforts as much as the story itself. I like this first point here where it says the human effort economy. A dominant segment of on Book Talk and Bookstagram is that reading is a social contract. If an author didn't care enough to write it, the reader shouldn't care enough to read it. I think that's just a tad bit extreme. I think that me personally, I would give an author grace who is upfront about how much their book has been influenced or written by AI, because then it becomes my choice if I want to read that book or not. But I think when people just pass off their book as saying, here, this is my book and I did this all by myself, I think people really feel lied to when they can pick up a lot of the AI tells and the author is not forthcoming about their process. Of course, there's huge conversations about AI slop. Lord have mercy. The conversations are real, y'all. The conversations are real. But there are some real valid concerns, particularly around where is the AI getting its source from? Because it's essentially aggregating and pulling from previously published works from somebody else's intellectual published property. And that's legally wrong and ethically wrong. And of course, Shy Girl comes up inside of the summary here. And there we go. Plagiarism concerns. And there's a little bit more information. So I think that's a good little 5-minute exercise you can do and see what that prompt yields for you in case you haven't been paying close attention to the literary section of social media. And I will admit, it is a bit of a tug of war because on the one hand, readers are saying they don't really want it, they're not feeling it. And on the other hand, I see a lot of coaches and software that is specifically designed for writing long form books, touting how much you should be using AI in your process. And meanwhile, a platform like Amazon has definitely been cracking down in 2026 because after being flooded with a lot of low quality AI written books, they want to make sure that they're giving a high quality written products to their buyers. They don't want buyers sending back the books or trying to get refunds or complaining about it. They don't want that smoke. So, given these considerations, you really have to think about the audience that you're looking to reach and understand, would they appreciate a book that is heavily AI influenced or AI written or AI assisted? Only you can research and answer that question for how you're going to use that information moving forward in your book writing process. So the second takeaway you should consider from this AI written book controversy is that major publishers will not back books that won't sell, AI written books included. Now you may think that, hey, I'm going to be self-publishing. What do I care whether or not a major publisher is going to publish my book or not? Well, a lot of independently published authors hope that their book gathers enough sales and gathers a nice sized audience around it in hopes of attracting a major publisher who wants to help give it wider distribution, just like Shy Girl, because her book was first independently published. Then Hashtag Group came knocking, gave a check, and put the book on the schedule because they heard this book was hot and they wanted in on some of that profit too. Publishers are in the business of making money for themselves. They do not want backlash from readers, okay? They don't want to catch no strays. They don't want to be about that life, and they do not want that smoke, okay? Anything that's going to threaten their money, they ain't with it, fam. They ain't with it. I promise you, if publishers, this is my opinion, if publishers thought that they could get away with some in-house junior intern pumping out an AI written novel or nonfiction book and the public would eat it up and buy it up, believe you and me, they would do that. You know how I know that? Because I'm observing it in Uber. I spent about 6 years from 2017 through 2023 driving almost full time for Uber while I was growing my writing business. And at the beginning, the money was great. But I saw things go down and then I started hearing them testing driverless cars. And then they had that accident out in Arizona where someone sadly lost their life. They put the project on the back burner, but quietly brought it right on back, partnering with Waymo. I live in the metro Atlanta area and I see videos of people frustrated. I literally saw a video a couple of days ago where 3 Waymos were stuck at a flashing red light and just would move because they thought that it was a red light. Meanwhile, Atlanta drivers know you stop, you look, ain't nobody coming, then you keep going. That's what a flashing red light does. So they have been quietly, not so quietly, rolling out driverless cars in various major cities. Trust me, it is more profitable for a company like Uber to not have to pay the drivers. That's why I got out. When I got out, I was like, oh, they're trying to make this 100% driverless. As soon as people are more comfortable with that, forget it. Human drivers, in my opinion, will be gone from these platforms, or they'll have a very small number of them. And if you want a human driver, you're going to pay a premium for them. I mean, that's just the way businesses think and work. But the fact of the matter is that the general public is simply not 100% on board with this yet. There are those people who love technology and they think the idea is great, and so they're testing it out with them. But the majority of people, they ain't with it. And I think, And we've been seeing over the last couple of years why AI has been hot and in the news, and companies have been, laying off workers in favor of AI, yet quietly hiring back human workers. I don't think that the publishing industry is exempt. I think they would love to be able to cheaply produce books that they think people would buy. But because the buying public isn't there yet, they're not going to touch controversy with a 10-foot pole. As soon as the criticism of the Shy Girl novel bubbled up, Hatchet was out. And they left. And they left that Black woman to face all of that criticism all alone. I have thoughts on that, but this is not the video for those thoughts. You may have to catch me over on my personal channel at It's Denise Renee for more of my cultural commentary, because I definitely do want to talk about how I feel like Black women have been at the forefront of a lot of ire for the usage of AI in creative spaces. But anyway, the point of this video and the point of this particular point is that you should take note of the major publishers. If they are reacting to the fact that audiences are not happy with majority AI written books or books that are suspected to be AI written, take note before you decide you want to invest a lot of time in mega prompting ChatGPT or investing in software or services that help you write entire books. I would just say consider how you're using these products and just evaluate how much AI usage should I be incorporating into my book, and would my audience like it? And like me, because I did it. Okay? All right. So if this video is giving you great food for thought, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you are the first to know when my next video about writing and self-publishing nonfiction thought leadership books is published. And let me know your thoughts. Do you plan on using AI heavily in the process of writing your next book? Let me know down in the comments. So the third takeaway you should consider from this AI written book controversy is that the market is wide open for human authors. Okay? Wide open. Human authors, at least for today, are going nowhere. So this is great news for those authors who want to do their own writing, but have been thinking, well, gee, what's the point if everybody's going over to using AI for writing their books? Baby. Still do your own writing. This is also even great for people who were considering hiring a ghostwriter, but were thinking, well, maybe I should just write it with AI. Well, here's the thing. Even if you used AI as your ghostwriter, you still have to take the time to prompt and edit and refine, etc., etc. You may as well go ahead and hire that ghostwriter anyway. You're going to get a far better experience and a far better book. Because here's the reality. While AI has been hot over the last few years, and we've been promised a whole lot in terms of what it can do, the capabilities are just not where the big tech companies are promising it to be. They're not there today as of the recording of this video. But even if it was, here's the reality. The audience has spoken. They want human writers. They want human stories. They want your uniqueness. They want to feel you through the pages of your book. As a writing coach, manuscript editor, and ghostwriter, I help people dig in to their own mind and their own thoughts and their own values and their own frameworks and systems, and help them pull out what's special so that they can lead with those qualities in their book. Now, I know writing a book is not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but it is doable. There are no shortcuts. It is a process, but you don't have to do it alone. And if you haven't started writing your next book yet, allow me to help you organize your thoughts and uncover your book's unique angle so that you can start and finish writing your book with confidence. I have a free infographic, 4 steps to start writing your book, that helps walk you through my proprietary 4-step book writing system that helps you craft a book designed to grow your personal or business brand. And there's also additional links in the resource to help you out with your writing journey. So download your free copy today at 4steps2startwriting.com. That's the number 4 steps, the number 2, startwriting.com. Now, the fourth and final takeaway that you should consider from this AI written book controversy is this. You can still use AI in your writing process. Just use it ethically. Okay? People are not going to be mad at you if you use a tool like Grammarly or Pro Writing Aid to help clean up your grammar and help you catch mistakes in your writing. But if you are planning on using AI to do your structuring, do your thinking, picking out your topics, creating your subpoints, organizing and or doing a lot of the writing for you or rewriting for you, that you may want to consider because the audience has spoken. Besides, there are just too many well-documented tells for people to pick up on whether or not a book was heavily written or rewritten with AI. And it could make your audience feel like you're lying to them. So I would say that if you are going to use AI in that way, be upfront with your audience and let them decide whether or not they want to support your book. Just be prepared for having mixed reactions on that. So how exactly do you use AI in your writing process ethically? Well, I would say a general rule of thumb is to use AI as a writing assistant rather than a content strategist or ghostwriter. Now, I'll be transparent and say that I use AI in my writing process. Basically, some of the functions that I used to pay other freelancers for as a transcriptionist or as a junior writer, well, now I use AI tools for those functions. I never ask AI to come up with book ideas for me. I never ask AI to create an outline for me purely from a prompt. And I never ask AI to rewrite sections for me. Every now and then, for ha-has and giggles, I'll ask it to attempt to write something for me, and it never gets it right. It's always awful. And besides, I just don't need it to. So how exactly do I use AI in my writing process? I'm so glad you asked, bestie. I break down my human-first AI-assisted writing process in this video here. I recommend watching it so that you can get inspiration for your own AI-assisted writing process. Borrow bits and pieces that you like or borrow the whole thing. Either way, click on this video now so that I can break it all down for you.